Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another modern video. Today we're going to be playing with Oliver D's Yorion Scapeshift list. Now Oliver sent me this list with some questions and some things that they didn't necessarily were right, and I wanted to play this league before I suggested explicit changes. I have some ideas in mind, but sometimes I believe that it's important to play a deck list before you suggest changes because sometimes you won't quite see some things. So when I look at this deck list, there's a couple of things that stand out to me as being a little bit questionable, but I want to see if I'm wrong in practice before I suggest the changes. Usually when someone does a tier 2 or tier 3 donation deck list, I make the changes, then play the league. This time around, I'm going to play the league and then make the changes. I have another Scapeshift list queued up that I'm going to talk about at the end, so I have some ideas already, but I want to see how this deck feels. All right, so let's start with the basics. In case you've never seen a Scapeshift deck in action before, you can sacrifice any number of lands and search your library for up to that many land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped. The idea is you take Valakut the Molten Pinnacle and you combine it with 6 mountains. Valakut and these 6 mountains enter the battlefield at the same time, and Valakut deals 3 damage to any target for each mountain that enters. So given that Modern is full of fetch and shock mana bases, 18 damage is usually enough to just outright go and kill your opponent. And ta-da! And the math gets a little more interesting when you have more lands. You can end up getting a second copy of Valakut, and things get pretty spicy. You also have a way to cheat on this. So you can also get Dryad of the Elysian Grove, which notably, all your lands become every basic land type. And so then, well, it gets a little bit easier to just do massive amounts of damage to your opponent. Okay, then there's the Yorion side. Now, generally speaking, I'm not the biggest fan of Yorion decks. I really don't like going up to 80 cards. I want my decks to be as consistent as possible at executing a game plan. But here's the thing. You don't really want to, like, draw Valakuts in this deck. You want to be able to Scapeshift them out. So, if you go and dilute your deck, you make it so that you don't draw some of these things that you want to remain in your deck. And this deck plays Bring to Light as additional copies of Scapeshift. And notably, there's a neat interaction with Bring to Light where if you find Valky with it, you can actually cast Tibalt Cosmic Imposter. And you can do that because magic rules. They've fixed a lot of the things that allow you to cast the backside of Valky when you could normally cast the front side. It's sort of a mess. They didn't catch them all. There's a handful of cards that I don't really think belong in this deck, but I want to see if I am wrong based on experience first. So kind of making some predictions from the get-go from looking at this list. I don't think Omen of the Sea is strong enough. It's in here as a Yorion Blink target, but I've played this card in Legacy a handful of times, and it's always been one of those cards that I've been kind of ashamed to have in my deck. It's slow, its effect isn't particularly powerful, and the 3 mana to sacrifice it and scry 2 is something you only do in just absolute desperation times, because you should have better things to do with your mana than 3 mana scry 2. And I'm also really lukewarm on the chalices in the sideboard. So this is supposed to be here to improve, say, your combo matchups, right? That's traditionally the role of something like Chalice of the Void. But is sideboarding in 3 of these in your 80 card deck really gonna change all that much in that regard? And I'm pretty unsure about that. And it becomes especially awkward if you end up wanting to sideboard in your Veil of Summers at the same time as you have Chalice of the Void. We'll see how that plays out. As far as the mid game goes, we're hoping to have some controlling elements with things like Teferi and Run and 6, and we want to hit bonus land drops via Dryad of the Elysian Grove and Growth Spiral. And for bonus cool points, we also have Titania, well, maybe I can't go so far as Legacy Staple, but a Legacy playable card that has been a lot of fun, and viewers on the channel have really liked her. All right, let's go ahead and hop into the league and see how this fares. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for Legacy, Modern, and Vintage content 5 days a week. If you're a regular, please throw me a like. It's the easiest way to support my content for free. And if you want to try out this deck list or get one of your own videos on the channel, one of your own decks on the channel, that information is in the video description. Let's fight. Okay, round 1 is opening up on a Yorion mirror of some kind. I have to decide whether or not I want to keep this hand. If I get a fetch land, this is pretty good because I have like Renin 6 to recur it. I have these 2 Omen of the Seas as slow redraws. I don't know about this one. I feel like I really want to be hitting my land drops because I'm often going to be playing a control role. I'm going to mulligan this one. Let's try to find something that's just a little safer. Let's keep this. Ditch the Omen of the Sea and assume that Prismatic Ending will hit something of note in one way or another. Fetch away, friend. Stomping Ground. And a bird. I wonder if we are, like, straight up playing a mirror. Also, I'm going to apologize in advance for sequencing my lands. I'm going to assume that I am going to make mistakes with sequencing these lands while playing these decks. Oh, okay. There are like little, oh wow. There are little things that you can do right and wrong in terms of like sequencing these lines and which ones you should do. And without playing the deck and without like really knowing the mana base, it's hard to know like where those decision points are. I assume I can play this untapped. Or sorry, I assume I can play this tapped at some point pretty easily. I do have like a basic forest. I could just be getting mountains so I can Valakut naturally. I have no idea off the top of my head whether or not I should do that. Let's assume not, because I have like a breeding pool and a plains. It's pretty unlikely that I'll do that. Then this one has to like guaranteed be tapped at some point. Let's go ahead and do that. And the next turn I can Prismatic Ending away the Seasoned Pyromancer. What are we looking at? Okay, so we might be playing a mirror. Okay, that's a good draw. Green, red, blue, white. Remove Omnath. Omnath. White, green, red, blue. We're definitely stopping that before that gets active. Oh, there's more. Okay. There's a lot of incidental power on the board right now in a way that I am not super comfortable with. Fauna has done a lot of damage to themselves, though. They're at 11. Fortunately, I too am at 11. Alright. So let's do this. And now I have to decide whether or not I'm just going to like go to my opponent's dome. Oh, I just go to my opponent's dome. No. Okay, so now this is active. I can deal 6, 9. I can kill my opponent next turn if they can't kill my Dryad. Let's go for that. Okay. Always yes, always yield. A life here. Let's grab some Triome. Send it at my opponent's dome. Put him to 5. I have lethal next turn. And you kill my X4 creature. Alright, they're fetching. Okay, Eternal Witness. Oh, can get a Prismatic Ending. Alright, that can kill my Dryad. Alright. I take most of my life total in damage here. Alright. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I play Yorion and block, I'm still taking 7 and being quite dead. So I guess we Growth Spiral and try to get out of this. Growth Spiral. Teferi. I don't think that does anything for me. Yeah, that doesn't do anything for me. I'm going to shock and see if I can somehow get out of this. I can't think of any way, but I've been I've been wrong before. I don't know. Let's just minus on a token. I think I'm dead. Yeah. Okay. Concede. All right. I needed them not to have the removal spell, and they have the removal spell via Eternal Witness. Okay. Looks like some number of things that help to gum up the board and control things would be good. So I think I'm going to board in 4 cards. Generally speaking, I think Omen of the Sea is kind of weak. I think I'm going to be boarding that out. Just kind of in the absence of something else that really stands out as being weak. Okay. I've got 2 lands, a Wrenn and 6 here. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Let's just go Stomping Ground tapped and pass. I'll lose the opportunity to bolt a bird, but I can Wrenn and 6 minus on a bird if my opponent plays one. Okay. Nope, it is a Utopia Sprawl instead. Okay. Now we, like, pretend that I understand this mana base. I would like white, I suppose, for Path and Teferi. Guess this Temple Garden is fine. Alright, red, green, Wrenn and 6, plus, get back Misty. What do you have for me off your Wooded Foothills? I have the ability to, like, keep getting lands back, but they have ramp already. Oh, fuck me. Well, sure didn't play around that. Okay. Am I gonna plus and try to ultimate this, or is Wrenn and 6, like, now a pinger? Huh. Alright, shit. I think I'm gonna keep plussing Wrenn and 6 with hopes of ultimating it. Like, I could steal their Omnoth or something. Man, I probably just straight up died to that Blood Moon. Yeah. I have, like, no answers to that, right? I should probably concede here. I don't have anything like a Brazen Borrower. I can't I'm just gonna confirm that I can't remove this. Well, okay. I guess I can Prismatic Ending it, technically. Alright. I think I will concede to just, like, something of Omnoth caliber being flooped into play, though. Yeah. Yeah. Guess I'm double lightning bolting that. Oh, that's feel bad. Goodbye. Oh. Trip basic land. That's great. Alright. That's just it. Oh shit, I should have put my Yorion into my hand. I'm pretty far away from reasonably casting that. Guess I should in fact cycle this. I need to find my basics in my 80 card deck. Yeah, let's. You know what? I'm not going to beat the Yorion that's in play with Double Wall of Blossoms, like drawing 2 more cards when I can't cast anything. I'm gonna throw in the towel here. Let's respect the viewers' time. Okay, so this hand is pretty slow. Oh, it's another Yorion mirror. Okay, I'm going to keep it, I think. I've got a fair amount of, like, good endgame stuff, and I have 4 lands, and I can ramp a little bit early. I think this is going to be totally reasonable. We might be playing against control variant this time. Let's keep playing the things that are guaranteed to enter tapped, I suppose. Alright. Fine. Oh, are we doing the same thing again? Kind of seems like it. So let's fetch. Should be pretty covered as far as colors go. So let's just pull a non-mountain out of the deck, making sure I leave enough mountains in there. Play the Triome as my bonus land. Alright. We could do, like, green, white, blue, red. Goodbye. Ooh, that is a Scapeshift. I can bring to light for something else if I want. Okay. Green, white, blue, red. Omnoth, which cantrips. I'll play Wooded Foothills. Gain some life. Batch. Just pick a Triumph with a different name. Second ability triggers. I get 4 mana. I'm not quite to Scapeshift Town yet. I also don't have double green, so I guess I just play a Teferi. And I think I'm just plussing. I don't really have a good target for a minus right now. I guess I could just minus on nothing, but like if my opponent plays something big and flashy, I would like the ability to bounce it. All right. Shocking. What do you have for me? Ooh. This is a lot of value. And I did not get value out of my Teferi, unfortunately. Where is this ephemerate? They're just going to be able to do it again and get my Omnoth? That's pretty disgusting. I don't like it. Oh, this is disgusting degrees of value. I did not know Soul Herder was modern legal. I feel like my opponent is just doing better things than me. Well, I might just outright kill them with a Scapeshift, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so assuming there's no like force of negation, that's Valakut plus 5 mountains. Oh wait, but I need it to be 6, so I need to make one more land drop and then try to kill next turn. I can bring to light for like an Omnoth and just like use that as a bridge. Make my opponent do the whole Soul Herder thing. I could also just Wrath, but I don't know that that's actually better. And Wall of Omens blocks 1 safely, and my opponent will take 3. Alright, I need to cast this for 4. How about green, white, blue, red, and then it doesn't matter for the last one. And let's pick up the old Omnath. I guess I technically could have cast it for 5 and grabbed Titania. But there is also the Valky, I guess. But if I was going to do that, I shouldn't have attacked. Maybe the Supreme Verdict is fine. Yeah, let's do the Supreme Verdict. It stops the Ephemerate and Soul Herder shenanigans. It makes it so that my opponent's Yorion is going to get less value later. I think I'm good with it. Oh yeah, and I get a little friend out of the deal. Well, maybe medium-sized friend is more appropriate. 4/4 illusion is pretty thick. Oh. Neat. But do you have something you can flash in and get value off of? Oh my god. So much for stopping the ephemerate value. Honestly, that's pretty slick. I didn't know a bunch of these cards were modern legal. I guess they were in Modern Horizons too. Okay. I should just murder now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a Valakut plus 6 mountains. Let's Scapeshift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get a Valakut. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I would not like to pay 2 life. No. 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 Alright. Always yes. Always yield. Fire the laser. Alright, so my opponent has a relatively sick amount of value on their permanents, and it doesn't really look like I have too much in my sideboard that can interact with what they're doing. Hoping to survive and kill them via Scapeshift. So many of my things that I would floop onto the board, like Ren and 6 and Teferi, are going to eat it to Skyclave Apparitions. My opponent has some tutors to help make that happen. I'm looking at Path and Endurance primarily right now. Veil of Summer, maybe okay. I don't know how many like actual counterspells my opponent is playing. It seems like they play to the board pretty heavily. Again, I'm pretty medium on this, so I think I'm going to go with Endurance and Path here. Just have the ability to disrupt some of their things, and the paths can also help protect my planeswalkers. Don't really love this opening hand. I don't really have a plan here. Like, I can remove some early stuff. Like, I can remove a lot of stuff, but I don't really have a way to win. I don't know if that's acceptable versus this deck. Like, my opponent's deck wants to grind, and if my opponent is playing things like Wall of Omens, I don't know that this is really getting there. Let's maybe try to find some ramp or something. Nope, not this. This is probably the best of the hands I've seen thus far. The Valky can go back in the deck, and maybe the second Dryad. Possible I could throw back the planes here. But if my Renin 6 dies, I would just like to have more lands. Alright, do you have ramp, or is this just going to be some sort of, like, abundant growth effect? Oh. Okay. Alright, Titania is not necessarily the pickup I'm looking for. Really just looking to get out of the early game here. Rug Triome here. Go with that. I've already got white covered with my basic planes. Then I can get something like a breeding pool or a steam vents next turn. Alright, a Bring to Light. Dryad plus Bring to Light is solid. I can keep hitting land drops. I have a way to win. Pick up a breeding pool. Go green, red, or Renin 6. And I'll grab a land out of here. Again, I don't know this mana base to know, like, well, actually, should I have Wooded Foothills here? Because I'm not familiar enough with this mana base to make those sorts of decisions accurately. Alright. So this is where we can start getting to, like, Skyclave Apparition amounts of mana. I might lose this turn. Oh. Okay. Well, good thing I have the Bring to Light. And a Path to Exile. Nice. Alright. Let's plus grab a land. Maybe fetch. Pick up a mountain. Maybe just a mountain is fine. Play the Dryad. A second land drop. Pass the turn. And if this Ether Vial tips, I will probably Path to Exile Sanctum Prelate. Not expecting like a Thalia or anything here, so we'll just see what this is. Nice Fang Coatl. I'm just gonna get rid of the Sanctum Prelate. Maybe I don't care about it. Maybe I don't want to give my opponent the mana. I have the ability to disrupt some things via Path to Exile, and if my opponent points a removal spell at my Dryad, I can just turn it into a land as well, making something like Titania better. Alright, what is this? I've been constantly surprised by the things in my opponent's deck, so anything is fair game. Okay, it's just putting the Yorion into hand. Ooh, it is a Solitude. Okay, so I can path my own thing if I want. I can path my opponent's Sanctum Prelate. I guess there's Flicker Wisp to think about now. Good. I should have just pathed this on my turn when the vial was tapped. Hope I don't get punished by Flicker Wisp. This means that the land enters tapped rather than effectively untapped, though, so that is worth something. Alright, so I'm going to lose... Well, my Renin 6 is going to take a little bit of damage in combat. Alright. Now I'm going to minus and kill this Ice Fang before Yorion Blink can get involved. Let's fetch. This makes green, right? That does make green. And let's play this Titania. Earn a land. I think I'm just going to go ahead and fetch immediately. And let's pick up the Triome that makes black, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So with one more land, I can Bring to Light for lethal. Or at least attempt it. And I do have the one more land via Renin 6. Alright. Is that a removal spell? Oh no, it's just cycling. Sure. Alright. The Orion's already in hand, so that's not that. Oh. That's probably not the play they're looking for. Okay. Let's plus grab a land. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I can Bring to Light and Valky as long as I don't use this. This also just gets another elemental to boot. This needs to be untapped. Pick up a breeding pool. Alright. There's 4 different colors. Done. Okay, and let's grab the Scapeshift. Oh, I needed to float mana for this, didn't I? Oh wait, I can still float. Cool. But I was about to sacrifice all my lands and kill you while also making a large number of elementals. I was having fun. I was having fun. Alright, we are in round 3, and we're not playing against a Yorion deck this time. Weird hand. This does make green, right? Yep. So, I can play an Abundant Growth on turn 2, and another Triome. Get a redraw. This hand's kind of borderline. I think I'm gonna keep it, but it's not great. Oh, looks like you all are gonna get a little bit of thunder during this league. So maybe some of my silences won't necessarily be edited out. Oh, we are going to get that thing. Play, bolt it. Good stuff. Notably, I don't have white mana for Prismatic Ending just yet, but I will in like 10 seconds. Yeah, there we go. Will I shock for this to double spell in this turn cycle? I think so. I guess I'll Abundant Growth one of these first. Like, I don't really care if something like this were to get Spell Pierced. That doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, A to Fairy. Yeah, let's go ahead and shock myself. And then I can play the Omen of the Sea at their end step. What do we got? Ah, yes. The modern acceptable power level cantrips. Okay, what did that do? That was one bottom, one top. So end step, I'm going to go ahead and Omen of the Sea, which I don't expect to get a response for. Land. Honestly, those are pretty good draws. I think I accept that. Yeah, I'm just going to accept those. So this turn, I'm just going to play tapped Triome and play a Teferi. And I can either just like plus this and oh, okay, or I can just get countered and that's fine too. Actual counterspell? Actual counterspell. Yeah, that's fine. I've made my land drop. I have Omnath mana. Yes, I have Omnath mana next turn. Well, yeah. Alright, so let's go white, green, blue, red, and attempt Omnath. Okay, you have shown me another counterspell. I accept this. Do I want to play Abundant Growth now? I think my opponent's playing a low-ish control deck. I think it's fine to Abundant Growth now. My mana's pretty well fixed. And I could make 5 colors already. I can also just turn this into a land that taps for everything. The Yorion is setting up to be, like, actually pretty respectable this game. My opponent also is at an 18, just keeping that exact number out there. That's a very important number for a Scapeshift deck. Okay, looks like that's all my opponent's got. They're not making land drops, and I'm making land drops, which is awesome. Okay. Let's just keep doing stuff. Go for a Ren and 6. You still got more? You still got more counter spells? Just natural triple of them? Okay, cool. That occurs. I'm just gonna go ahead and cast this Omen of the Sea now. Mostly so that if I draw a land, I can play it tapped. Ooh. Yeah, so let's top both of these. Go top, and tap this, and we'll turn another one of these lands into something that is good. Alright, good stuff. And the big thing I'm gonna have to decide is Bring to Light going to be like an Omnath? Oh wow, just straight up lightning bolt in my face, huh? Anyway, is one of the Bring to Lights going to be something like an Omnath, or are both of them going to be Scapeshift attempts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 6. And it's been a couple hours since I played the last round. I'm just going to confirm something. Yeah, if you control 5 other mountains, so I do need 7 lands for lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is 6. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just throw this into my hand and call it a turn. Now, notably, I can sacrifice these Omen of the Seas in order to like scry, but I don't necessarily think that's going to be good. Okay, I take another lightning bolt to the face and go down to 11. And I'm going to take another 2 here, going down to 9. I'm still healthy-ish, but a couple of counter spells could be bad for me. Okay, a breeding pool. How do we want to start this? I'd probably start with Yorion, and then attempt Bring to Lights on the following turns. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna play out the breeding pool yet. If Yorion gets countered, I can shock with breeding pool and get rid of Snapcaster Mage. Okay, my spell has been countered. Alright, so I can shock with breeding pool, and then do this for 2. So we'll do a white and a green, and get rid of the Snapcaster Mage, because this would be the same amount of damage that like a Snapcaster Mage would do to me directly. And these Bring to Lights will be lethal if I can actually do them. Sorry, Bring to Light for Scapeshift specifically will be lethal. It seems like my opponent is paying for a Murktide Regent. If they do have like the 4th counter spell to back up a Murktide Regent, that would beat me. This will be a Veil of Summer matchup. Okay, there is the Murktide Regent. A lot of Bring to Lights. I mean, we're going for it. Oh, I need to actually pay attention to this, huh? All right, so blue, green, white, red. Is this a less than or equal to? It is a less than or equal to, and get a black off of this. Done. Do you have the 4th counter spell? Oh my god, they do. Wow. Yep, okay, I die. GG. That's a little disappointing. Alright. 4x Veil of Summer. At the Exile is probably good for Murktide Regent. Probably better than Prismatic Ending in this matchup specifically. Another reason is because like Ragavan's Dash means that I have fewer things that Prismatic Ending might words are hard. Okay, Prismatic Ending might not kill Ragavan if Ragavan is dashing, and it won't kill Murktide Regent. So that's a reason to want to board those out. I don't hate Endurance just as something that like checks the various creatures that my opponent is playing while hating on their graveyard. Let's get this in here too. Go down a Valky. And I'm less sure from here. Supreme Verdict is medium in a lot of spots and very absurd in a few fringe spots. I don't know. Maybe I just continue cutting Omen of the Seas when I'm not sure. Let's do that. Okay, I have a handful of lands and an Omnoth. I think potentially being on 7 cards is important for a matchup like this. Like it's gonna go long. All right, yeah, that's fine. Take your information. All right, got your land drop. Do you have like a Ragavan or a Dragon Rage Channeler or something for me? All right, draw your card, and then we'll play the Triumph game. It is a fun but slow game. All right. Thought Scour. Blood Moon. So many Blood Moons running around. I mean, I guess it makes sense here. I think it makes more sense here than in that other Yorion deck that I played against. All right. Have a Dash Critter. You have a Dragon Rage Channeler. Yep. Oh yeah, and it's already swole. Like, Modern is much better at turning on Dragon Rage Channeler as a whole than Legacy is. Like, the Modern decks are so fast. Like, this is their turn 2, and there's already 5 different card types in there. Like, deck's not messing around. Draw your card. Alright. So this is blue. This is blue or white. This is blue. I would like this to be a white Triome. Let's just fetch now. There's another Triumph with a different name, right? Is this one white? Etna. Raguin. I thought there were 3 types of Triumphs. Maybe there is another one and I just can't fetch it with these. Alright, let's just grab that. And call it a turn. I don't, like, super want to trade Supreme Verdict for one card, but it's pretty likely to just happen. I'm not working with, like, spot removal right now. I don't have a lot else going on. And I prefer to play Omnoth on turns where I can either have Veil of Summer up or, like, back it up in some other way. Alright, blue, white, white, some other color. The unimpressive 1-for-1, where your 1 mana card got my 4 mana card. Enjoy, Jack. Oh, nope, not a tapped land. I suppose I could have played around a Blood Moon by, like, getting a basic forest here. I don't know that that's really great. I feel like if a Blood Moon happens, it happens, and it sucks for me. Are those famous last words? Sure are. Alright, well, let's put this card in my hand. Pass the turn. Got a lot of uncastables. I think if my opponent plays something of Murktide quality, I'll just concede and move to the next round. Oh, that's it for your turn. Oh, baby. Bring to Light is awfully neat here. It's only 3, though. Is that fine? It's not bad. Yeah, we probably cast that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. I will gladly eat the counter spell. Alright, you got a Spell Pierce. My Veil of Summer doesn't work because this is a mountain. I don't know where the point is where I concede for entertainment value for the audience. But I've got 2 basics now. We spike the basic planes, we can cast a pile of Omnoths. Alright, Dragon Rage Channeler in the revealed zone. And it's cast. Ah, yes, Veil of Summer. Good, good. We'll cycle a Veil of Summer at the first opportunity. I just need to try to convert that into some other card that is named Basic Plains. Nope, that's not a Basic Plains. Alright, we're not getting any end of turn spells here. I'll take 3 more and go to 10. Ow. That is also not Basic Plains, which is rough. In case you're always wondering, like, why I continuously preach, like, the value of basic lands, it's this sort of situation where you just get got. Anytime you run into, like, a Blood Moon or a back to basics and it catches you off guard, just, like, look at your mana base. Like, how greedy were you? Cycle this. Ah, you are not Basic Plains. Also, my opponent is probably sitting on a hefty pile of counter magic at this point. Yeah, and a lot of mana too, so I don't know. They might not be able to double counterspell successfully in a turn. I also am just, like, dead to a lightning bolt at any point now. I think my chances of winning this game are basically 0. Oh, a bauble. That is not a blue spell. It is also not a black spell. Good at 1. Okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Heart of the Cards. Alright, you take your draw, and then I'll take mine. And I will hit the concede button. GG's. Okay, round 4. Opening hand is fine. We've got a Run and 6 to get us through the early game and some other stuff for a bit later. Like, curving Run and 6 into Teferi or Endurance is probably pretty good. I actually might have to care about my mana this game. Actually, as long as this gets something that's both white and green, it's fine. I assume one of the triomes just does that. Maybe both of them. Okay. Maybe some sort of shadow deck. Inquisition. Depending on what my opponent is taking, this could change, but the best card in the hand, in my opinion, is Wrenn and 6. My opponent agrees. Go grab a triome. Alright. Grab. Oh, so I have double green as well as Teferi stuff to think about. I'm gonna grab Ketria Triome. Scapeshift, naturally drawn. Okay. Now let's just go ahead and pass the turn here. And I'm going to want something that produces green here. Could just be another Ketria Triumph. Oh, that is a dashed Ragavan, which I cannot answer this turn. Go ahead and just fetch now and figure out what I want. Oh, there are 3 Triumphs. One doesn't get green. Yeah, I think I'll just grab another Ketria. No. Salvi Triumph? No, this doesn't get green. So I need both white and green here. Is that just Temple Garden? That's just Temple Garden. I am glad I fetched and figured that out now. Because, like, that's a one of. Oh, my opponent got value off the Ragavan. I presume the 3 damage to the face is worth it. Yep, there we go. And Ragavan bounces back to hand. Alright, so now I have green on both of these. I'm just gonna play Endurance in this turn cycle. It just, like, it basically stops the Ragavan from attacking or forces my opponent to use some sort of, like, Fatal Push quality card on it. Okay. I mean, you know I have the Endurance. It's coming right at us. Green, green, blue. And let's nuke your graveyard. Show me your Fatal Push. Yep. I mean, I accept this. Yep, okay. I will take 2. I'll go to 11. And my opponent does not get to cast that. And now it's probably Teferi time for me. Blue, white, one other one. Fairy. And we're just going to plus this for Ragavan reasons. Just keep this alive, and then I can go for a Bring to Light next turn, get something that can protect it, and we'll work towards Escape Shift. I don't have very many mountains in play currently, but theoretically we can also naturally accrue mountains. But that's pretty unlikely. Definitely don't want the Path to Exiles out of the sideboard. We've got red, black, green over there. Douthie Voidwalker. Sick. It's a Lightning Bolt on the Teferi. And now my opponent can dash the Ragavan and kill Teferi. The shadow on Douthie Voidwalker is really annoying when coupled specifically with, like, Ragavan's dash. Because that means, like, I can't answer both of these just cleanly via, like, a Bring to Light and Omnoth. Am I willing to shock myself? I think so. I also could just grab, like, Titania and try to pivot this game. That creates 2 bodies. I don't like that. Oh, wait, no. I can't cast this. Okay, yeah. We're going to cast a Bring to Light, but I'm not going to get maximum colors, because this can only tap for blue or red. And, yeah. Yeah, so this gets 4 of the colors. There is also this. I'm just going to grab an Omnoth. It cantrips. And stops, like, Ragavan. Okay, this is a great draw. That should... I'm going to go to 6 this turn, and then I can Lightning Bolt the Douthie Voidwalker and put Yorion into my hand. Okay. Don't mind seeing lands from my opponent at this stage. They do have a redraw from Nurturing Peatland available at some point. Okay, I think they're taking... Oh, nope, they're not taking it now. What are we dealing? Oh, it's Bloodbraid. Finding Renin 6. Okay. We are straight up playing against Jund. Good old-fashioned Jund. So my opponent should not activate their Renin 6 until after they attack with Bloodbraid Elf. Because if I, like, block Bloodbraid, they can then minus Renin 6 and kill my Omnoth. Which would be a nuisance. The next turn, if my Omnoth... Oh shit, I wasn't keeping track of this. What do you have? I legit can't tell. Oh, Teferi, I see. Timing? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Why didn't I... Is there a timing restriction on this? No? Oh, this Teferi in play is actually really annoying for me, isn't it? Because, like, it stops my Bring to Light from working. I guess the Scapeshift is in my hand already. I need to make more land drops without dying. That's kind of a big deal. I've gotten another turn. Titania. That's pretty dope. Let's in fact cast that. Green and green. target the thing that will let me fetch Basic Mountain. Go ahead and fetch, which gives me an Elemental. There's Basic Mountain, and now I get to Lightning Bolt something. Scapeshift is going to be lethal when I can cast it. So what is most likely to kill me? Bloodbraid is trading with a creature as of right now. I can stop it from trading with a creature and make it so I can kill these next turn. That's probably fine to good. We'll see if I have turned this one around. Alright, there's the Teferi Plus, so my timing gets restricted. Cycle the land. Alright, Renin 6 just returns... Oh, returns the Nurturing Peatland. That is some sick value. I respect that. Tarmogoyf, how big are you? You are a 4/5. That is a very convenient number for me. Yep. Land? Land. Yeah, so now I just Scapeshift for Valakut, or I already have the Valakut. I guess it makes sense to Scapeshift though. Alright, so let's... Oh, I'll have 4 mana left over. Can I do this in a way where I Omnath as well? This is so greedy, but no. I don't have enough. Oh wait, green, red, blue, white. No, I can't. Alright. Let's Scapeshift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I will pick up a Valakut. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. My opponent has conceded. I was about to get a whole bunch of elementals too. Good stuff. Okay. I guess the big question here is, like, do I want Veil of Summer? I definitely want Path to Exile. I think those are going to replace 3 Omen of the Seas to start with. I think I'm going to bring in the Endurance to help stonewall early threats. That'll bring out the 4th Omen of the Sea. And now it's just a question of, like, do I want Veil? My opponent will have Discard. My opponent might have some things like Assassin's Trophy. So, like, they can have value, but, like, Veil of Summer doesn't directly impact the board, which is something I want to be doing a lot of. How good is Veil? I'm not sure that Veil is better than any of the other cards that are in my deck currently. Like, I feel like the stuff that I have going on here is pretty good. I wouldn't fault someone for bringing in a Veil, though. Or a pile of them, like, whatever. Hand's a little slow. I could get run over in the early game, but just keeping hands with piles of mana has seemed to work out a good portion of the time here. If I just get, like, Ragavand on turn 1, that's something that makes a hand like this one a little sketchier. Stomping Ground. Okay. Let's just let's fetch a Triome here. I think just Ketria to start with. And pass the turn. And then I'm going to get smacked around by this monkey a couple more times. And then I'll try to deal with it. Let's see how bad what they find is... Oh, they found another Lightning Bolt. Good value. Okay, they are going to fire that off at my face. Oh, and we're getting something else. Ooh, jeez. I'm really glad I never had to play against Renin 6 and Ragavan simultaneously in Legacy. Because, ugh. Okay. And just shock myself with Stomping Ground here seems fine. Red, green. My Renin 6 looks pretty hot here. I get to kill their Ragavan with it. And then we can, you know, have a Renin 6 off. The Renin 6 has higher loyalty currently, but the Renin 6s dueling with each other aren't really going to kill it. Someone drawing a Lightning Bolt or sticking a creature will. Fetch away. They've got a basic. And the Renin 6 now represents a land drop for next turn. I'm not going to, like, use an Endurance to, like, try to take out their stuff or anything. Alright, how do I want to play this turn cycle? I'm going to plus my Renin 6 to get another land drop. I can plus Renin 6, take a land out of the graveyard. I think I'm going to be holding up Endurance this turn. Grab that Misty. And I have green already. Go ahead and just play a basic island and pass. And try to maybe ambush something in combat here. I think it also would be okay to like sequence the land slightly differently there and go for it to fairy bounce on Tarmogoyf. Alright. Walk into my house and try to kill my planeswalker. You may succeed. Like you can like still have a fatal push or something. Okay, looks like they are going to have it. That would be a reason to fairy bounce, is to play around that. Okay. You have it? They have it. Alright, so I am going to lose the Wrenn and 6 here. But Wrenn and 6 saved me a bunch of points of life and got me 2 land drops along the way. That's totally reasonable. Alright. So, I'm going to start this turn with just an Abundant Growth. And now I'll Teferi. So this can be white, blue, and this can be just any basic land then. I don't take additional damage. I guess grab a forest. Blue, white, 1. I'll go ahead and minus this. Bounce the Tarmogoyf, take a new card. And I know this isn't, like, I know my Teferi will die to their Wrenn and 6, but I don't super care about that. Like, I'm just taking pressure off. The longer I drag on this game and the more land drops I make, the greater chance I have of just, like, casting this Bring to Light and killing my opponent in one shot. Like, they're already in lethal range when I get to 7 lands. Oh, Bloodbraid's Turok. Wow. 2 cards at random. Okay, I still have the Bring to Light. We're good. Oh, that thing is get bigger too. Sick. Come on, good draw. Scapeshift. Not the best draw. Not the best draw at all. What does the back end of this thing's loyalty go down to? 2 after I exile a creature. I guess that's the line here. Like minus that. And then hope it stabilizes the board. I have the Scapeshift in hand, so I can win that way. Alright. Fetch away. Do I have another basic I can get? No. My colors are pretty set. It doesn't matter super much what I get here. Guess I'll grab a Temple Garden. Pay the life. White. Red. Blue. Black for good measure. Done. Valky. Tibalt Cosmic Imposter. Cast. Exile target artifact or creature. Oh yeah, and I can just cast this too, right? It's been a little while. Yep. Okay. Cool. And this is even if Tibalt leaves. Sick. Tibalt did gross things in Legacy for like 2 weeks before the rules got changed. I wasn't, like, I was playing during those weeks, but I was trying to do a lot of other things rather than just like jam with Tibalt. So I haven't actually played with this card all that much. They were really expensive on Magic Online in the height of that, and like even with my loan account, it was hard. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be land drop 6. Will be land drop 7. I won't have enough mana to do everything that I want to this turn. So I guess I'm doing this. Cool. So let's plan for a kill next turn. I'll play like a Dryad. Right. Play a Dryad. Play a Valakut. Oh, right. Yeah, let's take out the Planeswalker. Alright. Always yes, always yield. Yes. Play a land. Use that to finish off that. Let's cast a Ragavan as a chump blocker, basically. Oh, you also just tap. Yeah, let's just play this as a blocker for my Planeswalker. That's a pretty good turn. And then I just have Scapeshift for lethal next turn. I also could have dealt 3 more damage to something by fetching. But I wanted to save the point of life there. Well, probably multiple points of life because I think I'm low on basics. Although the basic mountain is still in there. It feels like we're done here. This is why the Tibalt is in the deck, I suppose. I poo-pooed it a little bit in the deck tech. Don't remember. And 9 hours. Is this Tarmogoyf getting in the red zone? I will throw away one creature. Preserve my Planeswalker. What else you got? So I suppose I probably should have played the Valakut last turn as the first land I played. The post-combat Bloodbraid? No, 5 mana? 6 mana? What the fuck? Fireball? What the hell is that? 5 mana. Put target creature or enchantment card from an opponent's... No. Punishment. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value X. Okay. Sure. Alright. I'll play a Valakut. I guess I can hold this. And then I'll just sacrifice all the rest of these. Not think too much about it here. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be... Yeah, that'll be fine. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and my opponent concedes. GG's. Good work, Tybalt. Oh, it's a companion battle. My opponent has Lurrus of the Dream Den. Good luck. Well, you too. How's my mana look? Weird. I think I keep this. If my opponent is playing like some sort of aggressive creature-based deck that has Lurrus in it, I have 3 or 4 removal spells for their early stuff. I'm on board with that. Okay, so this is the Hammertime deck then? Yeah, having access to Lightning Bolt should be dope. Okay, there's an Ornithopter. Sure. Let's get Misty and hope that I can go ahead and get a Triome at the end of turn. Oh god. That's a huge improvement to that deck. That's sick. Okay. So let's fetch. I probably want this to be red and blue. So Ketria Triome seems great. Alright. Do I want to Prismatic Ending away this Sigarda's Aid? Probably an okay idea since I have multiple. Goodbye. And this still leaves up Lightning Bolt for if things get weird. The Urza Saga is going to tick up. The constructs aren't actually that spooky right now. Like, as long as I'm leaving up Lightning Bolts, it's definitely not the end of the world. Do I need 2 Lightning Bolts? 2 Lightning Bolts is not bad. And maybe pave the way for me to do something cool at the very next turn. I think that's worth 2 life. Could also play Prismatic Vista and fetch a Mountain if I need Double Bolt, which I admittedly might. Yeah, let's try to save the 2 life. So I should see an Urza Saga activation here. Yeah. And then we're just going to take that out now before something gets weird. My opponent's going to get 1 more construct, and I'll trade another Lightning Bolt for that. That artifact will turn this into a 3/3. That's okay for me. I don't have to bolt yet. I guess it would be awkward if my opponent played an artifact land. But those are tapped lands in Modern, I believe. Or at least for the most part. I don't think I'm going to play around that. Oh, I hope I don't get this fetch land Pithing Needled. Okay, it's a Shadow Spear. That's fine. Okay. That is less fine. I'm going to go ahead and fetch. Grab the Mountain. Lightning Bolt the Construct token. Ooh. That's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and shock here, I think. Let me just confirm that Teferi can bounce that. Yeah, it's an enchantment. It can. I'll pay the 2 life. Play Teferi. I'll bounce that Urza Saga, buy myself some time, draw a card. Make my opponent expend more resources. Oh, I can click on this because I can cycle it. Alright, yeah, good stuff. I'm trying to get my opponent to spend 2 mana to equip the Ornithopter, and then, like, waste their turn doing that. And not commit anything else to the board. That's fine. I'll now take this out. I could have, no, I don't have access to white. I couldn't have set up that in a Prismatic Ending way. Getting buried by fucking Urza Sagas, man. Alright. So, I plus this. Construct tokens are going to be a little rough. What am I taking out here? Am I taking out the Giver Runes or the Shadow Spear? Honestly, the life link on those tokens is kind of annoying. Opponent hasn't dealt themselves damage yet. Take out the Shadow Spear for 1 mana. Yeah, let's take that out. Guess let's throw a Valakut into play. Put the Yorion into my hand. I've already played a land. I just need to keep making land drops and then draw a Bring to Light or a Scapeshift. That's how I win this one. Okay. So this prevents the next 2 damage that would be dealt to a legendary creature this turn. I don't know exactly what legendary. Oh, that's really good. I don't know exactly what legendary creatures my opponent has. The Yorion Bait? Like, do I play that out, make them commit further, and then Supreme Verdict everything away? It saves me at least 2 points of damage, if not more. I could greed more. I think this is fine though. So I'll blink that. I like getting 2 +1s out of it. My opponent will get a construct. And they'll get another construct. Now I'll see what sort of shenanigans they have for me. Off there is a Saga this time. This is going to be a Fracturing Gust matchup. And a Path to Exile matchup. Alright, that's the hammer. It is here. And Inkmoth is a little scary. The opponent could give protection and then like bash in and kill Teferi. It does depend on whether or not they're willing to tap the Giver. Like, how threatening is this Teferi actually? Alright, that's the construct attacking in. There's a protection, that's fine. So that occurs. The Colossus Hammer plus Inkmoth is a little scary though. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be a 5th mountain. So I'm just gonna play that out. Confirming white, plenty of blue. I don't need to pay that. Go, my noble Yorion. Alright, now we're in easy Scapeshift territory. White, colorless, white, blue. Alright, good stuff. Hopefully we don't just die. Another one. Okay. Oh, I forgot about their Luris. That's something that's quite annoying. I guess this Triome starts to represent damage now, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is actual damage. We'll probably save these, right? Probably just save these as removal spells, as weird as that is. And I can cycle if things get dicey. Alright. There's a lot going on now. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Yorion out as a bait. But, like, I still have nothing to blink with it. Yeah, that's fine. 1, 2. This will be 3. This is not the best for me. I'm gonna cycle this now. I like my position a little bit less now that my opponent has 1 more artifact. Same. Cycle again. Alright, Dryad. Prismatic Ending. That's totally legit. I can exile the Colossus Hammer with that. My opponent can get another. But it's a start. Yeah. Let's junk it. We'll play the Dryad. I'm still going to try to hold this as a removal spell and see if I can maybe eat a Urza's Saga construct with it at some point. It's possible. There's the construct. Thing is, they're just going to make another, and there's still, like, the Luris looming with a Ganjo Castle to protect it. Alright, it's another hammer. So I hope that my opponent, like, does not leave up a Ganjo Castle when they play Luris. That might be a lot to ask for. Oh, did they not? So trick here, my opponent can animate these Inkmoth, an Inkmoth Nexus, and then, like, kill my Dryad, so this is a good attack on their end. Yeah, and they are indeed tapping those to grow it, which is legit. And I'll take 5 for my trouble. They can now play Lurrus, which can play an Ornithopter from the graveyard and grow this. Or Giver. Giver is fine too. This actually sets me up really well. I can kill the Lurrus now. Alright, cycle? Cycle question mark? I think I'll cycle this. I could outright just kill my opponent. Oh, everything is rainbowy. I don't need to think too much about this. Oh, nice. Alright. The Wooded Foothills. That blows up the Lurrus. Alright. Always yes. Always yield. Yes. And I'll go ahead and fetch. This will just, like, pick up a Triome, I guess. And this, since my opponent is tapped out, can kill a Construct. And I'll play this. Will not pay the life. This will take out the Giver. And I can bash in for 2 points of damage. Now, my opponent still does have this Infect backdoor that can kill me. But I have 5 top decks that instantly end the game. Ooh. You have like a Cauldra in there or something? Because that would be devastating. A Cranial Plating. That's a little spooky. In terms of like these Inkblot Nexuses finishing up the game. Because like Stoneforge Mystic can tap to provide a mana here. Yep. Yeah, they figured it out. Equip. Yeah, that kills me in 2 turns. That is horrifying. I need to draw a win condition or something that answers one of those here. That does not do it. My opponent will kill me, but I'm gonna try to show strength here. Just make the attack in, and see if they will go for it. I presume the answer is yes. Cycle this land first, get more information. They may just fire up like 2. They probably will just fire off 2 separate Inkbots and equip 1. Just like keep that infect damage going. Yep. Now they equip 1 and I'll die. Yep. Okay. GG's. Well played. Oh man. Omnath would have drawn me into Renin 6, which would have been another removal spell, or rather 2 removal spells or 6 damage to the face. Plus this. Oh yeah, things would have gotten interesting. Alright. I like Path. I like Fracturing Gust. I like another just generic blocker. We'll go Omen of the Sea out here. And most of the rest of the stuff is good. I just need to make 2 trims somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly. Also, I have drawn like no growth spirals this entire league. Just throwing it out there. I do not think I have drawn it once in 5 rounds. There's 4 copies, and I haven't boarded it out ever. That's interesting. Very interesting, actually. Okay, at this point, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do in terms of sideboarding. Like, maybe I board out Titania. I don't know. It's so good at producing multiple bodies when I need multiple bodies, though. Like, if my opponent has had a couple of Urza Sagas. Oh. If I'm Bring to Lighting for 5 mana, Fracturing Gust probably does that sort of thing better. Let's trim that, and then let's maybe not board in that last Endurance and call that good. Okay, I have 3 lands and relevant spells. I'll be keeping this. I need to play a red Triome on turn 1, so I can run in 6 on turn 2. This is a red Triome, so I think I'm good to go. I will need to draw another land. Preferably a fetch land. For this hand do like 100% fire on all cylinders and like curve Renin 6 into either like something to protect it in one way or another. Opponent's on 6 and is maybe facing a difficult mulligan decision. Doing it pretty hard. Okay, they've got on 6. Land go. What do you have for me? Plains. Glorious start. Renin 6 fodder. Okay. Let's go. Temple Garden. Shock. Red, green. And keep you further away from Metalcraft. Okay, not Urza Saga. That Sigarda's 8 is like super spooky. Oh shit. Anyway, about what I was saying about the super spooky, that also increases the toughness. No lightning bolt. Do I lose this one because both of my lands are enter the battlefield tapped lands? Oh my god. Like I just like bouncy Ornithopter. Oh my god, yeah, I lose this one because these are enter the battlefield tapped lands, and I didn't have a fetch for Ronin 6. Wow. Uh yeah, GG. That's a powerful deck. Okay, overall thoughts on the deck list. I wish I drew Growth Spiral. I can't really evaluate that card. Otherwise, the stuff that was in the main deck felt pretty good. This list, with the exception of Omen of the Sea, felt pretty tight in the main deck. I think that's like pretty clearly the worst card. In terms of how I played, I'm 100% sure I did not sequence my lands properly. Just playing this 80 card version for the first time, it's very difficult for me to like talk and do the streaming stuff that I'm doing while like trying to mentally keep track of all of this stuff. It's the sort of thing where like if I played another league or two, I could like become much better at that. But like going into this league, like I didn't know which triome was which and that sort of thing. So I am 100% sure there's lots of micro errors involving fetching and timing of fetching and whatnot that had minor implications on the game. I also don't necessarily think that I considered the Valky, or rather Tybalt Cosmic Imposter lines as frequently as I should have in like round 1 and 2. It was something I was like aware of in the back of my head, but I wasn't just thinking how quickly that thing can just spiral the game out of control even when there's stuff already on the board. So I'm sure if I went back and watched myself, that would be something I was thinking of. And my thoughts on the sideboard are kind of similar to what they were at the beginning of the league. I don't know that like Sphinx the Final Word is really good. I didn't bring that in any round. Probably more redundancy on some other front, like a 4th Path to Exile or another Fracturing Gust or something that's good against Urza's Saga. Like something like that's fine. Even just another copy of Scapeshift, so that like when you want to draw it, you can just draw it and win. Now I want to show something else off real quick. So this is a deck list that a user that I played against recently sent me. I sent him a message at the end of match, and I was like, hey, I am recording with Yorion Scapeshift soon. Will you send me your list? And Mr. Rabe sent me their list. This is a slightly different take on the same effect, and I thought Search for Escanta was a really good card to fill the 2-drop slot that Omen of the Sea was currently taking. So this is something that I'd want to test out. And one of the other things I really like about this build is it's replacing Lightning Bolt with Unholy Heat, and then running Mishra's Bauble to help fill some of those other slots. And I think those things are good in conjunction. That's like Unholy Heat does hit target creature or planeswalker, so dealing 6 to a planeswalker can be a pretty big deal sometimes, because a lightning bolt won't always kill, like, say, a Teferi that has plussed. This build is a little different. This doesn't have the Dryad of the Elysian Groves to just like combo a little bit sooner. It has a few more controlling elements. I did want to show off this deck list, and I will link this in the video description as well. If you want to try out both of these and kind of see how the differences are. Just flashing the sideboard real quick. The sideboard had a rather different approach, as you can see here. Notably, there is a Kozilek Butcher of Truth to help out with the mill matchup, which is relatively common on Magic Online currently. But just final note on Oliver's deck list here. I like it. This gets a thumbs up from me. This was a fun set of intellectual hoops to jump through, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please click the like button. It's the easiest way to support me for free. If you really enjoyed, check out the video description for more information about me and my services and all that jazz, and consider subscribing. Have a great rest of the day, folks. I hope you're enjoying Modern.